If you live along the coastline, if you live in southern countries, because we have a lot of customers down in the southern countries now that put us on for water separation because of how it was damaging their injectors. I'm getting ready to pour this in and show you how we will not take off if our filter reaches capacity. It doesn't take off and just pass fuel with water to stop, doing the job it was hired for. Not only am I going to show you that, I'm going to show you the pressure differential of what's reaching the engine, the pressure reaching the engine, and the back pressure back here, so you can see it getting dirty. So we'll take a look at this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I got a better idea. What do you say we not do it on the flow bench and put your money where your mouth is and do it on your personal truck?
Oh, you call me no balls?
Now we dare any of our competition, do this with your system. Get it on video. We want to see if you have faith in your water separation abilities.
And put more water in than what the filter will hold. That's the trick. You said no balls, right?
That's right.
Let's do this. Let's pour this in.
Yeah.
Are we gonna pour all this in?
Pour about 3/4 of that in there.
I don't know if there's enough angle.
We'll get her in there. There we go.
This is, what, a $170,000 truck now?
Yeah, how many miles are on this?
16,000.
And this is a 2024, so
yep.
Like you said, we're putting your money where your mouth is on this one.
I could drive this over 500,000 miles on that CP4.
That's exactly right.
All right, would you cap that? And I'm using my data logger. I'm screen recording right now. We're gonna fire it up. The only reason I didn't pour a gallon in like we did before a long time ago with Spencer, my son, because I don't want to sit here and have to go through filter after filter to get all that fuel clean. I need to be home tonight. So we're going to sit here.
Brad, the delay you might be seeing right now, that water might not necessarily get to the FASS right away. Like when you're driving down the road, the water can be sloshing around in the bottom and hit the sump and then get pulled into the FASS system.
Let's go for a drive. The inlet should be building. Yep, it's hitting.
Yep.
That's a 68 gallon S&B tank, 3/4 full. So I'm gonna guess it's half a tankish. Notice it's 4:04 right now. So we probably, started 2 minutes ago?
Yep, yep.
Our data logger.
That's right.
How much was this data logger?
$349.
But we have another sensor.
That's right, that's right. We have an additional sensor in there, and the option like this without the cab mounted gauge is $299.
So let's slosh the tank up. We're getting ready for a Formula One race.
Yeah.
Tell them we'll be back.
Oh, there we go. We're starting to drop now. We've dropped to 90%. And
yep.
The more water that accumulates in our XWS, the greater the differential pressure and the lower your filter life will be. And that is real-time filter life. That's just not time-based or mileage-based. You are actively monitoring the health of your fuel supply system. And we're down to 80% now.
Yep.
And Brad, what that means to me, I know the FASS is going to do the job at removing the water, but the Connect and being able to monitor your filters in real time really gives me the peace of mind of knowing if I'm traveling, whatever, I know those filters are starting to plug. I keep a spare set with me. I can spin them on and keep me on the road.
We're down to 80% filter life right now. So it's doing its job. Guys, if you're replacing filters because they don't last, keep doing that, and you'll be replacing your fuel injection system instead. 8-9 minutes so far.
Yep. And that also shows how much water our filters will actually hold, because we're dropping down to 60%.
Okay, let's get back in our parking lot so we can change the filters out when
Sounds good.
If it shuts down on us.
Yep. Yeah, because that was a lot of water we put in there.
Guys, this is what a filter is supposed to do. Now, other filters, when they reach this, they go, I'm done.
That's right, that's right.
You're on your own. Get your own backup because they're passing the water right now. They were passing water way before this.
Right.
I'm gonna start it.
Sounds good.
Did you see how quick that started? Dry filters, primed up, bada bing.
You know, and it is very possible that we got so much of the water out with the first set of filters
And we won't grab it.
that we won't notice a large differential pressure change with this new set of filters.
Let's give it 15 minutes now. Let's shake it up. I tell you what, that's not only a great tool, but a great data logger for not racing and all that, but a few simple items.
Yep.
But that filter impressed me, the first one. That was 8 to 10 ounces of water.
Yep.
I wish we would have poured it exactly, but one filter seemed to get it all.
Yeah, and we spun on a new set of filters, and we're here in a parking lot testing, but if you were out on the road, you got a spare set of filters, you could spin them on and just keep on trucking, keep going.
Yeah, so we picked up 8 to 10 ounces of water. That water took a while to get into the sump, but once it gets in that sump, and then you saw it dropping pretty consistently and quickly. So I have to believe that we got all the water because that water will still be sitting in there when we've changed the filters.
Exactly right. Yep.
So if you live where there's high condensation, coastal areas, poor fuel quality and everything like that, no one can protect you like we can. And I want to see who else has the nerve to do this. This is ROI, return on investment. If you're going on vacation, you're going to drop a load somewhere, you have to be somewhere, a race, you know, change the filters, bada bing, and go.
A few hours later, with Brad headed home and still no lingering water in the fuel system, the filters did their intended job, limiting us to only one filter change.